Evening, everyone. I hope you're all doing great. Let's just make sure that you can all hear me fine. Welcome. We have just over 100 people watching now. I'll just wait for a few more people to come into the stream before we get started with Coast to Coast. And those of you that are on my Telegram channel, you would have received some information over the past week that would have prepped you for this. And on Thursday, in my members live chat, I will give the members a lot more personal detail with regards to Coast to Coast. Hi, everyone. There's a lot of members here. I hope there's going to be a lot of non-members here as well. Oh, there's a few here and there. So hopefully more non-members will come into the stream. This is important information that I want you to consider. Shane Corney, unpronounceable name. Mike, hi Mike. Members, I'll greet you on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. If you want to become a member, you just click the join button underneath each and every video, and then you can join up as a member. All the information for all the past of the membership, which is almost a year now. Yes, some people are 1 year now, 12 months. Jasper, 12 months, yeah. So I don't know if it's at the end of this month or at the end of next month. I'm not exactly sure how it works. So some people are celebrating 12 months as members now. So it's been a year. That's really awesome. Marlene says, not a good feeling to see this prominent in focus. I have to focus on this, Marlene, for quite a few reasons, which hopefully I will make clear enough now. Like I said, the members, I'll give you a lot more detail. 12 months, T-Man, Jureta, awesome. Yeah, thanks to you for all your support. You make this channel possible, all the work and effort that we've all put in. And just look at what we've achieved. Those of you that are not on my Telegram, Double O Days is in the top 3 on the daily and the weekly for news and politics in South Africa of all the YouTube channels that are being viewed in South Africa. Double O Days is on number 3. And, in front of me is ENCA and SABC. Yeah, I don't think it's fair. Thanks, Gerrit. I don't think it's fair for me to compete with those people, but hopefully we can get there. Hopefully we can get to a point where we can compete with that mainstream media. But I think a lot of people must be really concerned. Connection between Coast and Gunderson's topic. I'm not going to touch on that here. This is a public forum. Anyone is welcome here. We have just over 200 people watching. And we get between 300 and 500, sometimes up to 800 people in the live streams. And this is one that hopefully will get a lot of people to watch because understanding Coast, Operation Coast is important. And a lot of the channel members that I've asked to go and watch a specific TV series would understand now. How do you feel? Those of you that have gone and watched The Designated Survivor, season 3, which is disgusting, especially the last 3 episodes. How did you feel about that? So please, in the comments, if you can tell us how you felt about watching that. But please like and share this. This is open to the public. The only people that can comment here are subscribers that have been subscribers for the last 20 minutes, so that we don't get trolls running all over what we're doing. Aisha says it's horribly sad. T-Man said Designated Survivor was a shocker. So what was shocking to you? The fact that they actually lay out Coast in detail with regards to the future, or the fact that they used it as their main plot in the end for the world? And I'm going to tell you a story today, and on Thursday with the members, I will go into more detail about my first contact with Operation Coast. Just remember, before I was involved in counterterrorism intelligence, I knew many things. However, I did not get all the detail I needed to put things together. That happened over a period of time of intense research. But in 2002, in the first 6 months of 2002, I had to read many books that was given to me, or the books weren't handed to me. I was told that these books I need to get and read, and I did. I had to read up on lots of information, and was given a lot of information, sometimes via videotape, in various ways. I'm not going to go into the detail. I know where to draw the line. We have over 300 people watching. Welcome. So during that time, I learned things, and it was just information to me. I must make that clear. I did not necessarily understand everything properly. If I didn't marry Lauren, my wife, Lauren Evanthia, you should go and subscribe to her YouTube channel. If I didn't marry her, everything wouldn't be able to come together. So both of us held pieces of the puzzle, and many other things I experienced brought everything together for me. So I was lucky in that sense. Maybe it was meant to be, so that I can bring you this information and I can give you my perspective. And the first thing I need to tell you is perspective is not truth. It is perspective, okay? And I, on this channel, try and stick to truth when it comes to facts that I put out there. And truth comes from facts. And what I can give you is information that I was given by somebody, and that's why I tell you, someone told me something. If someone told me something, that's what it is. It doesn't mean that person was talking the truth. If whatever that person told me happened later on or is playing out and it's becoming evident that that is the case, then you need to consider what the person told you. You can't ignore it anymore. And that's the case for my dad, intelligence, and many other people. They were really good people working in intelligence at the time. I was well trained in what I needed to do, and it was purely to protect Koeberg Nuclear Power Station. That was the main aim. And I believe it was successful up until now. And once again, the place cannot explode. I know Adrian Snyman has come out with a new book, and he makes a question mark at the top of the heading, but then in the paragraph he still says that Koeberg, it looks like Koeberg's going to explode, which is utter freaking nonsense. If anything happens close to Koeberg, then it is something separate that will take place. It's not Koeberg that'll explode. And let me tell you something, that whatever that other thing is that could happen will be far worse than anything that could happen at Koeberg. So let me make that clear first, that anything that could happen at Koeberg is not going to affect the public. It was designed not to. What can happen, because Koeberg is a national key point and because people are targeting it because of these prophecies, can be far worse. And, I really hope it doesn't happen and that we can prevent it at all costs. But the one thing that is important for you to understand is that the first time when I heard about Coast in 2002 and really understood it, I realized that that was tied to many things my dad told me in 1991, 1992, and subsequent to that. Many things he told me was tied to Coast. And I didn't make the connection initially. He never used the word Coast. Now, Wouter Basson, who was called Dr. Death, he was the head of the Coast project. And I'm going to go into the detail of the layout of Project Coast just now. He was my father's physician. My father flew down to Cape Town on one occasion where I went to fetch him at the airport just to see Wouter Basson. So he went to what is the place called? Plattekloof, to the Mediclinic there to see Wouter Basson, who's one of the top cardiologists in the country. And people that I've worked with at Kubik Nuclear Power Station has been seen by Wouter Basson, and they said he's one of the best doctors, and most people will recommend him. So they love this man. They absolutely love his demeanor, how he does things, etc. So these people I trust with their take on the man. So I think it becomes very complex when you consider what he was heading during that time, and maybe the mind space that he was in, maybe a business like mind space, for them to do what they were busy doing at the time. So I'm not going to justify what they did, and I will get into that in just a little bit. We almost have 400 people watching now. Welcome to all the new viewers. For those of you that didn't come in the beginning, you can go and watch it again when this is loaded to the channel. I will get to the structures of Coast just now, and I'll get to some of the things that they actually produced. Because who of you watched that short snippet that I put out, that 5-minute snippet on Coast? Who of you watched that short snippet? We have over 400 people watching now. Welcome. Yes, okay. So there's many of you that watched it. It got quite a lot of views. In fact, let me have a look quickly. Yeah, wow, it's almost got 10,000 views now, which is quite a lot. Yeah, 9,700 views. So it's done quite well, but a lot more people should view that, because there was an open documentary that was done on Coast, and that gives you a small snippet of what happened in Coast, okay? Because that specific task that they speak about in there is where they literally created something that you can target people with, because you could put it in water supply. Anything that you can put into water supply, you can target a specific area. You can inject it into a specific main line where you inject the chemicals into a reservoir or whatever the case may be. So you can target an area and affect an area that way. And you need very little. As they said in that snippet, 3 to 5 grams of the substance they produced could kill more than 1 million people. Now, to put that into perspective, how much of the substance do you think is being produced since Coast officially was ended during the transition time in 1994? Many things were hastily stopped. And those of you that are members that got links to certain videos that was done on our space program and so on, where people literally left their offices with a coffee still standing there. They had no time to pack up or anything. When they heard or got instruction to follow certain protocol, they literally left everything behind and left. And a lot of those people, no one will ever know who was employed, who worked on these projects. It was top secret at the time. And I can tell you one thing, all of those projects had international interest. And this is a very important thing that I need to tell you now. All of those projects had international interest. In other words, there were people from other countries involved, supplying either equipment, expertise, or whatever. So South Africa was used as a place to experiment, to come up with new ideas. And our people were very good at producing and building whatever was required. So just imagine, you're a global elitist and you need a substance that you can use at whatever time, whenever. What do? You fund and help any country of your choosing where you can manipulate people to believe that they have a cause strong enough to produce such a thing and justify it. And you get them to do it. You get the international people to leak the info to them, and you get people like Wouter and all the other people that were involved to produce substances that was always intended for the world or global elitist use in the end. So when everyone said in that snippet that there's no evidence of the destruction of the substance. And that's what they produce, 3 to 5 grams. Okay. What could have been produced now around the world? You cannot tell me for 1 second that that expertise wasn't transferred to other countries. It absolutely was. And I know that for a fact. So, not just that expertise, all our expertise that we've developed in this country was always for the benefit of other superpowers. It was never for our own benefit because it wasn't funded by us. And this is where the problem lies. Coast is alive and well. And why the heading for this video is Coast to Coast is because we had Coast. Many people were terminated using various substances that was created during Coast. And we are going from coast to coast. Read between the lines. And Coast is already in progress. And I want to tell you about a person that I spoke to on Facebook a long time ago. We had various disagreements, but he was adamant. He had information that I couldn't believe he had. Okay, and that made me take interest in him. He knew about Coast. He knew about many other operations that was top secret, and he said that we will not be able to stop the implementation of Coast. And I argued with him at the time. I said there's lots we can do to stop Coast. I was, in fact, obsessed with the fact that we can stop this. And this was in 2016, 2017, around that time, maybe into 2018. And then I broke contact with the person completely because the discussions were going in a way that anyone that's intelligence trained, you know, when you need to get out. And just knowing that there's a person that has that info is frightening because, firstly, where did they get it? How do they know what they know? And this is what intelligence is there for, is finding things like that out. How did my dad know all the things that he knew about Coast? And he spoke about the details of Coast like he was working there. And I know he didn't work there. He specified many other laboratories across the country and companies that was involved in Coast and developing very specific things, including what is being used now around the world since 2019. And it's not what people think it is, and I'm not going to debate that right now. I'm not going to go into that discussion. And that is why doctors and many other people are confused by what is happening to the people. And like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to go into that debate. But all I'm saying is that what was explained to me is happening. I could see it. And it's a big concern because people need to prepare and be aware of what might happen. And we will always try and stop anything bad from happening in this country. But when it comes to Coast, the fact that that person was so insistent that Coast will not be stopped, it will be implemented, and it will be successful. Post Coast implementation in South Africa, we will be able to rebuild the country from scratch. There will literally be nothing left. Okay. This was the message. Now, it's not my message. Okay. This was someone else's message. My father had the same message. And that is what shook me, is the fact that their messages aligned perfectly. And ideologically, I have a huge problem with that. Now, those of you that would have watched Designated Survivor, the third series, especially the last 3 episodes, will know that a very specific group of people will be targeted with Coast. My father said that one day they'll be there, the next day they'll be gone. That is literally what he said to me. And my mind doesn't want to accept that or acknowledge it because it is flippant shocking. Now, one thing my dad did tell me is that at the time, the scientists did not have or had not perfected the method to achieve that outcome. But have they done so in the meantime? I don't know. in designated survivor, it seems as if they were successful. I have no evidence right now that scientists anyway have been successful in actually developing a pathogen that can target a specific pigment. Um, and any darker skinned person, which includes my wife, two of my kids, would literally be affected more if that was the case. So it should be a huge concern for people in general, because the destabilization that will come from that is immense. It is immense. In other words, Africa can be wiped out in one go if you can target people's drinking water. And once again, I'm not saying that this is going to happen, okay? However, I want you to be aware that many people that knew a lot about what's happening now spoke about this playing out in future. Then you see it in HBO series turned into a Netflix series in its third iteration, and the last 3 episodes covers Coast, speaks about Coast, the details. It's got a South African mad scientist involved that has unleashed this super weapon on the earth to eradicate certain people. And you need to start thinking to yourself that this could be a possibility in future. I really hope it's not. And I hope that people's plans, because those plans were clear, Coast specifically states that, and I've given those document links in my Telegram channel as well as to the YouTube channel members. You have the document links, you can read through them. Was to target pigmentation. It was a clear target of theirs. Now, nowhere will you see whether they succeeded. There was no proof of success. Welcome to the 560 people watching now. Please, if you've joined late, please go and watch the beginning of this video. What I'm covering now is quite important, and I'm going to give more detail, important detail to the members on Thursday evening, because I think at this stage, based on many things that I'm observing around the world, people need to be aware, because Coast is already in progress and it can be used in so many different ways. You can target individuals, you can target small pockets of people, and I will tell you how that is possible. So don't think that there's just going to be this huge wipeout. You can use various methods that eliminate people in various ways in different places. So nothing needs to look the same. And this is where a lot of people don't understand Coast, because they think that Coast is one thing. What you see in that snippet is one of many. So let's get into the hierarchy of Coast. So according to the South African political and military structures from 1980 to 1989, this is what people could deduct was the hierarchy for Coast. So the state president, who was P.W. Botha at the time from 1978 to 89. Then there was a State Security Council. Then there was a cabinet. Then there was a secretariat of the State Security Council. The Minister of Defense, who was Magnus Malan. And Magnus Malan, you'll remember him from the book, The Lost Boys of Bird Island. Then you have Arms Corps to the side, and then you have the chief of the SADF, South African Defence Force, who was Constant Viljoen from 1980 to 85, and 85 to 90 was General J. Geldenhuys. Then under that, you had the Surgeon General, and that was a line function chief of medical services, which was General N. Nieuwoud and D.P. Knobel. And Knobel was interrogated during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission on Coast, and he said there was never an intention to create anything to eliminate anyone. Now, either he lied or he had no cooking clue what's going on. So that means his hierarchy could be completely wrong. Below him was the project officer or Project Coast Brigadier Wouter Basson from 1981 to 1992, and Colonel Ben Steyn from 1992 to 1995 when it was completely shut down. So it still existed during that time period. I'm not going to look at the line function. Well, the special forces were involved at the time, the chief of the Air Force, the chief of the army, General J. Geldenhuys and A.J. Liebenberg, the chiefs of staff, which I didn't mention here, and then head of special forces, General Lutz and Liebenberg and Hubert. So these are all the people that were involved, and certain people in the military became involved in some of the items or products that was developed by Coast. And through doing that, many people were eliminated. Many were eliminated. And these document links that I've given the members on this channel, you will be able to go and read that 300 pages, and you will even see the documents, it's not declassified, made available documents on what was actually developed. And once you see what was developed, you will realize that they even developed poison in lip balm, lip ice, cigarettes, a 6-pack of beers with poison in it, any alcohol with poison in it. And the goal was always, they never tested on humans. They tested these on animals, and then they would use it on humans. And many times when these humans were eliminated, they were dumped in the ocean. Okay. And this is one of the things that Coast was known for. The fact that the people that were eliminated, they would fly over the ocean and just dump the bodies. So there would be no evidence. But in most of these cases, their tests or what they were developing was for there to be no evidence of poisoning. So this was important. There had to be no evidence of poisoning. So during the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, I think a whole lot of people just spoke a lot of hogwash, because if you look at the different evidence that the different people gave, it contradicted each other. Now, if you were in an operation such as this or project such as this, what are you going to admit to doing and what won't you admit to doing? I can tell you that the only things that people admitted to doing are the things that the ANC claimed had happened to some of their people or other countries. Then people would admit to it. But what about all the things that happened that no one ever followed up on? So, yes, evidence of what they tested on baboons. They even tested stuff on beagles, dogs. They go into detail on where they kept the animals, how they would give them very specific injections or rubbing something on their skin, and what would happen to them. And if you look at the hit list of people that are known, it's quite something. And there's reports on everything. Lip balsam, lip balm. Imagine that lip balm gets poisoned. Who's going to suspect something like that? Or your cigarette. So they really went into a lot of covert detail in what they would use. And they would test this on animals, and they would say that some of the animals' samples didn't work as well as they thought because the animals would try and rub it off their lips. They go into that kind of detail. And these reports, this one I'm looking at now is from 1987. So there were many people involved. So please, those of you that can, go and read through these reports and actually see what happened. And then you will start making links with what is happening today. You will start making links with what is happening in the world today, around the world, in various places. And like I said, this COVID-19 pandemic is not a straightforward thing. It's not a one solution thing at all. And the one thing that my father clearly stated is there would be no vaccine for what is being released. In other words, nothing will work. And that's what he stated. Now, based on what the results that people put out there. There is some efficacy, but like I said, our own top vaccinologist recently said that normal bodily immunity is proven to be better than any of the vaccines. That's what he stated himself, and Professor Mardi. And he's not popular for saying things like that. But I don't want to get into those details. We need to be far more concerned. We need to be far more concerned with what can happen in future. So please, I'm going to give you a link now in this live to that reading. So try and copy that link and go and read the details. Spend the time and read the 300 pages from beginning to end. If you don't understand the Afrikaans reports, get someone to translate it for you. Okay, or try and put it into Google Translate. But there you have it. We have just over 600 people watching now. Thanks so much for coming into the stream. The information I'm giving you now will have a major role in not just the future of this country, but the future of the world. My father said clearly that the biggest battles in the world will not be fought with nuclear weapons. It'll be fought with tiny little things that you cannot see. And it looks like he was right once again. How did he know this? He served on the Committee of 300 in 1984. He was in Geneva, Switzerland. And subsequently, he attacked the World Economic Forum. He attacked the Council on Foreign Relations. He attacked the Trilateral Commission. He attacked all of these entities because he realized that what they were busy doing was creating this perfect utopian world where they wanted to eradicate every single person that's like a parasite on the planet. And they'll use the planet as an excuse. So the whole global warming scenario, I have to separate climate change, because the climate has changed since the climate has existed. Climate change is real. Climate is changing all the time. But the sun is one of the biggest drivers for climate change and various other things. So global warming, I mean, I love the way Elon Musk said that if the earth heats up, maybe we can see animals walking around in Greenland and so on again. Maybe it should heat up by a couple more degrees. We just built our houses in crap places, and then the earth would be much closer to how it should be. And I love that kind of thinking because it's out the box. It doesn't go with a narrative. And people hate that. He gets attacked a lot for saying things like that. But that's exactly how I think. The other day on Tucker Carlson, he said, why don't the Greens or the extreme left say, let's all plant trees because trees suck up CO2, they need CO2, and then give off oxygen. All we need to do is plant a lot more trees. But no, that's not what they want to do. They want to control how much fuel you can consume. So fuel is a huge focus right now around the world. And you can bet your bottom dollar that everything that's happening between Russia, Ukraine, and whatnot is controlled by these world elites to get the specific outcome. And all these governments around the world are just a bunch of freaking squid brackies to these people. And it's really pathetic to see. So, yeah, someone said something about the clerk somewhere here. Yeah, the clerk was a squid brackie too. Yeah, please like this video. Share it on your personal platforms. Don't control someone else's place, please. I really get annoyed by that. I don't troll other people's pages. So go and put this on your personal social media platforms so that as many people as possible can see this. But Thursday, with the members, I'll go into a lot more detail on things that my father told me and other things that I found out subsequently. This is an open platform, so it needs to be discussed with a filtered community. I really want to thank you for coming on and understand that we've gone from coast to coast. And this person that told me coast will take place, you won't be able to stop it. Maybe they were right. I really hope that we can take the measures and do what's necessary to prevent anything like that from happening. And I don't have a crystal ball. I can't predict anything. I can't lead you through this time. I'm not your leader. I can only give you information. So The only advice I can give you is to prepare for any eventuality. The one thing my father did say, and Thursday I'll go into a lot more detail, is that because of water supply, you can target specific areas. You can put this toxin in water. It's possible to do that, and chlorine is not going to be solving your problem. Many other things can. Most of these toxins can be killed by high temperatures and many other things. Okay, so that's something that you need to be aware of. Go and read this link that I've given you, and just be aware, and just understand that coast is not dead. Coast is in progress. Okay, and it's really sad to know that there are people out there that think that they are superior to other human beings. And in the end, what they want is such a destroyed social system that the people will beg for that one world government and that one world leader, because people won't want to be self reliant. The only people that are self reliant will not need this globalist government. We will be able to stand on our own, become strong, and in Southern Africa we will achieve that. And we need to include Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, and even further north. So it's not just us. We need a large area to be awake, to know what's happening, to want to be free, and to be self-reliant. So you can't just sit back and do nothing about this. You can actually take action to make yourself as safe as possible. And I would recommend that you do that on a daily basis, not from now on, since forever, because self reliance means that you can rely on yourself. And that includes protection of life, which means that you will be able to protect yourself under all circumstances. And you need to literally plan for that. So last Saturday, there was a meeting out in the Garden Route, a Freedom SA event. And I don't know how many people went. I didn't speak to the hosts afterwards. It's something they enjoy together. And those people can link up with each other. And when there are times that are tough, then they can help each other out because they know each other, even although they don't live on top of each other. The people that do this around the country will be in a much better position when we face certain trials. I'll repeat that. The people that do this will be in a much better position when we experience certain trials in this country. I really want to thank you all for coming into this live stream. Yeah, and it's awesome that people were willing to warn us about many of these things that will take place. I know there's so much information out there on social media right now that might be confusing to you. Um, I watched the video the other day. I didn't have the uh, I didn't feel like watching it for such a long time, because it's such a sensationalist channel on the snake venom and yeah, or the Stu Peters show. And afterwards, that doctor that he interviewed attacked Stu Peters because he made it about water. I'm not going to tell you how I feel about what was revealed there, or why, or how that doctor attacked Stu Peters afterwards. He just had a simple interview with him, and he obviously didn't want to handle the fallout afterwards. There's many things happening right now, not just one. Let me make that clear. There's many things happening right now, not just one. And let me tell you something. Coast included multiple pathogens, multiple viral entities, multiple chemicals, multiple everything. It wasn't just one thing. And that's probably the most important thing you can take away today. And know that many of these items can be circumnavigate it by being in a remote, hot, dry place. A remote, hot, dry place. I don't know what more to say to you than that. That's what I will do. If I realize that it's not safe in a metro anymore for any reason linked to coast, I will make sure I get to a hot, dry, isolated place. And that's the best advice I can give all of you. Thanks so much for coming into this live stream. I'm going to say goodnight to you now. I've given you the link. I'll give you the link again. Please go and read that. And you'll see that that is a formal report. So it's public knowledge. This is not something that's hidden. It's just most people don't have access to this because they're not interested in it. Everything is out there. There's nothing hidden. Everything is out there. Everything. Okay. So thanks so much for coming in. Lots of love to all of you. Just remember that love is the power that formed this universe. And love is the power we can use to change this country into what we want to see. If you have hatred in your heart for other people, for people from other cultures, people from other religions, you need to repent and change the way you think about things. If you think that other people are beneath you, you don't belong on this channel, please just watch my videos. We are all equal. We are all equal. And if we create a society out of choice where we believe that we are equal, we will help each other to build each other's homes. We will help each other to do all sorts of things in our communities. I'm not saying that world will happen, but many people might taste some of that. And across the world, that has happened throughout the ages. We can do it again, especially in South Africa, and I look forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. Keep well. Have a good night. See all the members on Thursday evening. If you want to join us on Thursday evening, click the join button. Those sessions are normally about 2 hours long. Last week it was like 2.5 hours. Sometimes it's even longer than that, but it's normally 2 hours long. So if you want to join us, and you can watch all the past live streams as well as the past Zoom presentations that I did on exiting the rabbit hole, the money trap, and the techno trap. And very soon I'll make the announcement on the power pyramid, and I'll give you my perspective. Thank you very much. Keep well. Yeah, please share, like. We have 300 likes. If we can get more likes, it'll help with the algorithm. If we can get 500 likes, it'll make a huge difference. So those of you that came in later, please watch from the beginning once we are done. And yes, thanks for doing all the hard work. It's incredible what we've achieved. The fact that we are the third most watched for news, the most popular, third most popular besides ENCA and SABC, shows the effort that you're putting out there. We are making a difference. You are part of the difference. It's really incredible. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, let's get those likes. There we almost have 350 likes. Night, everyone. Good night. Good night. There we almost have 350 likes. Yeah, Lee, hashtag liberate SA. We absolutely have to change our governance system if we want to circumnavigate many of these things. The road to that is what will make the difference. We need the discipline. If you can become self-reliant, store your own food and water, many of the things I've spoken about, that discipline will help you. And remember to get fit this year, physically and mentally fit. Very important goal for all of us. Good night, everyone. We're on our way to 400 likes. That's really awesome. If we can get to 400, that'll be great for the amount of people that view. And then if you share it, we can get a lot more people to view it afterwards. We literally, at the moment, we've gone way over 500,000 views in the past 30 days. That's incredible. The amount of views on the videos. Really, really stunning. Okay, we're almost at 400 likes. Can we get to 400 likes? We have 420 people in the chat still. Yeah. Good night, Renata, Nala, Patsy, Marlene, Billy. Leaf sugar. Yeah, absolutely. I must agree there. 380, 20 more, and we're there. A lot of people have told me they can't actually like the videos. A lot of people have said they battle to subscribe. Waldo, hi. Ek kan nog nie good night sê nie. Ja, nog 13 om te gaan. Kom, nog 13, dan is ons daar. Ja. We have to make use of all of these things that people use to brainwash other people, like with SABC and ENCA. We have to use it against them. So this is a good way of getting back at them. Yeah, we have 4 to go, people. 4 to go. Yes, Twitter campaign, please. I'm putting out tweets. My one tweet I put out got over 260 retweets. So it went kind of viral for a channel my size. I only have just over 6,000 Twitter followers. So I'm very small compared to many of the other people out there. But yeah, wait, we've got 403 now. That's really awesome. Yeah, love will triumph. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we've made our 400 likes. Thanks so much. Outdoor Addiction, please post a Stu Peters video link. Just Google snake venom COVID-19. I think you'll get it. Okay. But I'll post it in any case. Okay, keep well. Good night. Bye-bye.